Alright guys, this is going to be Suit Up. This is the video that's going to show you how to get into a suit of armor or a car or a jet or something of that nature. So I have my regular Kodu. He can drive around, he can jump. And if you look right here, I have a creatable one as well. So I have a regular Kodu and I have a creatable Kodu of this guy identically. So let's look at him. Keyboard movement, WASD, and then spacebar makes him jump. So I can move around and I can jump. And when I run into my jet, my Kodu disappears and I am now able to move the jet around. I can fly up, I can fly down, and I can even push the F1 key and get out of the jet, and then I'm back as my regular driver guy, or my regular motorcycle, and I can go around, and then I could even get back into it if I wanted, fly around, get back out. Alright, so I'm going to show you how we do this with this red one, who I have not programmed at all. So what we do is we go to this jet, we click program, and we say when you are bumped by a cycle, we want it to get rid of the cycle. So let's destroy it. We could actually, let's use vanish. Make it vanish, and we want you to switch. Let's see where's it. Oh yeah. We also want you to switch to page 2. So when we use this tab right here, when we tab over the line 2 like this, it's going to make it where it goes to page 2. Up here at the top we're on page 1, and on page 1 it says if you get bumped by a cycle, vanish the cycle and then switch to page 2. So let's go to page 2, and we're going to add some movement on here for this page 2, WASD, and make it move. Just let's do it real simple for the first, and let's try it. So we're going to rock and we're going to bump into it, and my Kodu vanished, and now I am inside of the jet. There's no way out of this jet because we didn't program a way out, so we're going to have to start over. So how would we make it where we can get out of the jet? Well, first thing we are going to want to do is we're going to want to so we got this. When you bump into it, vanish it, and move to page 2. Then on page 2 we have the movement. We also want to add in something else, get us out of the jet. So let's do keyboard, and we'll use the F1 key. When you push F1, I want to, let's do create a creatable cycle once. And then after you create the cycle, we don't want, well, let's get rid of the jet because, or we can, let's actually move us to page 1 again. No, let's just get rid of the jet. We'll do combat, boom. It'll blow up me. Okay. So once you push the F1 key, it's going to create the cycle, and then it's going to destroy itself. Let's try this. Now we're in the jet. We push F1. Boom. We get out of the jet. Now we're back to the cycle again. Alright. Now if we want to make it where it's just like this green one here, it's a little bit more complicated. It's not too bad, but it makes it where you can get in and out of the jet over and over. Let's look at that code for that right quick, and I will show you what that looks like. Okay. So for the code for the jet for this one, I have it where he always moves downward on page 1. The reason why I did that is because if he's flying way up in the air and you jump out, you don't want the jet to just hang up in the air forever. So I made him always move down. And I can get rid of this here. And then I made it where he blows up the cycle, switch to page 2. Here's my page 2. I have the regular movement, I have the up, and I have down. When I'm not pushing space, I go down. When I push space, I go up. When I push F1, it creates a cycle downwards, and then it switches to page 3. Now the reason why I did switch to page 3, if you don't use that, when it launches the cycle, it's going to immediately touch it again, and then it's going to blow up the cycle, and it's going to put you right back into it. So, but if you have if you have it where it switches to page 3, on page 3 you have a timer that waits 2 seconds and then switches back to page 1. That'll keep you from getting stuck in a loop. So let me show you what that loop would look like. So let's do it without that. So instead of blowing it up, let's do switch to page 1. Let's see what that looks like. And what you're going to notice here is that my character is going to just keep vanishing. I'm going to push F1. It's going to look like nothing happens, but so there's my Kodu. You can see I can't get out of the jet because as soon as I push the button, he touches the jet again and jumps right back in. So we don't want that to just keep happening. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go on to program, and then whenever, instead of switching to page 2, let's switch to page 3, and then let's make a timer. Let's make a short timer. We'll do a timer for 2 seconds, and then we'll switch back to page 1. Let's try that. So now when we push the F1 key, creates the Kodu. I can move around, and then I can get back into it. Cool. Alright guys, hopefully that was helpful. See y'all later.